So we're doing more Warptorio today. It will be slow because I have had a slow week, um, and can't really use or don't really want to use the mouse and keyboard right now. So I'll be using a controller, which will be fun because it's been a while. It looks like they've made some improvements since the initial Switch release. Obviously, this isn't the Switch version because I'm using mods, but I imagine the controls are pretty much identical, aside from the names of them. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll find out. One thing I did notice is that they improved the quick menu, and it actually works with both cursor styles. Which I'm pretty sure was not an option before, so that's really nice. It's still not perfect, but it is better. Because I would find, because this is my favorite cursor style, I find it much more useful than the I don't know, the magic cursor that they try to use, where it tries to auto predict what's near you. But I could never get used to it, so I was using this one regularly. But because of that, I never used the quick menu because you couldn't use both. At least I think that was the case. Or maybe I just wanted to be able to use it with the right stick. But you're still not able to use it with the right stick, which I think is very, very silly. Unless maybe there's a hidden control scheme, but yeah, you're not able to use the right stick for this, which I am spinning the right stick right now. The right stick has absolutely no use in this menu. It disables it completely, which is why I think it's weird you can't use either. Because personally, I think right stick makes more sense. But, oh well, I mean, it's not actually. That's a pretty big complaint. Because yeah, for something where controls are important, but it's manageable. Let's see, I don't think. Oh, I want absolute directions. I think moving the stick up will make. Oh, never mind. Wait, what? That is the opposite of which one absolute and relative should be. So I'm very confused by that. Yeah, I don't really know what the difference is. What is what the fuck is this anniversary thing? Oh, I think this is I think I've been an affiliate for a year or something like that. I don't really know. But I'm assuming that's what that was saying. I didn't really look too much into it. Thank you, thank you. I don't remember what I'm doing. So we're on a peaceful planet. So I was smart enough to make sure we started on a peaceful planet. So that's good. I think I want to actually chill on this peaceful planet for 40 minutes and get no resources because I'm fairly sure that I have buffered resources that would be super useful. Sorry you're late. Oh, that's fine. You never have to apologize for that. People can come and go as they please. I'm just happy you're here. But let's see. I need to check on our resources. Also, hope your food is good. But yeah, the idea is that this planet is peaceful and I can rely on buffers. Let's see if that is true. It is not. We have 50. we we have a couple minutes of buffers, so I guess that's not that great. Are these all full? Because if these all have ammo in them, we can go to the next planet. Because I will be safe as long as we have ammo in each of these chests. I would prefer it to be piercing ammo, but yellow ammo will work. Okay, do I not have piercing rounds going up here? Is that the problem? Or down? I don't know if it's up or down. I do not. Okay, well that would explain why there's no piercing rounds getting to the outposts. How do I send them down is the question. Oh, wait, can I send them down? Yes, I have to send them here. Okay, I can do that. So these walls need to what's pipette? B. Why B? Why? Oh god. Yeah, it's gonna be let's change the sensitivity curve. I have it way too sensitive. But this is gonna be quite the mess. Maybe Warp Torio or anything with biters isn't a good idea when trying to figure out the controls, but we have like I think we'll just have to make sure we warp pretty early and try not to cut it too close. Like 20 minutes into each area, because yeah, until I learn the controls, it's very risky to stay on a planet where I could die. Yeah, I mean, it definitely was made for a mouse and keyboard. Like, it has a lot of keybinds that are super helpful. So it is. I would describe it as a controller as playable. If that's all you have, you can still have a decent experience. It's not going to be amazing by any means, but you can play it. Uh, which controller I'm using? I am using an Xbox controller because I haven't set up my other controller yet. I got a controller with Hall effect joysticks and a couple extra back buttons, which I think I'll use, which would be very nice. Because then I could have place bound to a back button, so I could place things while moving. Because default is A, and Hall effect joysticks for just high sensitivity or high accuracy, like for the dead zones, without any drift and stuff. Sounds pretty useful, but I haven't set that up yet because I just got it like a week ago, and I've only been using it on the Switch at the moment. I see you still enjoy torturing yourself, controller, really? Yeah. So I don't really have the energy today to sit at a computer, but I still wanted to play some Factorio. That's why I didn't stream yesterday either. Um, so controller is good for that. It's definitely not my preferred experience, but it allows me to play on days where I'm not up to like sitting at a computer. So it is nice. It's just not not the best. Wait, what did I break? Hold up. Where am I sending this? Oh, I'm sending this down. Okay, I couldn't remember where I needed to feed this. But yeah, definitely prefer mouse and keyboard 100%. But when I don't have a choice, I will play with a controller because it's okay. It lets me play the game on days when I wouldn't otherwise be able to. So I'll call that a win. The bot mod I used, so I tried two. One of them is called Basic Robots. I think that was a bit too underpowered though, so I would not recommend that one. Tiny Start seemed decent. Okay, I couldn't remember the buttons. What are the... How do I... Okay. How do I rotate things? Oh, deep... Okay, deep pad. That's weird. A Dance Dance Revolution pad. That would be fun. I feel like Factorio with two DDR pads could be playable. I imagine you need at least two, though, for the mouse. Or technically, since you can beat the game with only the mouse, I guess you could beat it if only the mouse was assigned to the DDR pad, but that would not be that sounds like a bit too torturous even for me. But yeah, Tiny Start is the one that starts you with 20 robots and some basic power armor that you can upgrade a couple times, which to be like light armor and then heavy armor. It seems pretty cool. I mean, it only starts you with 20 bots, so like you don't feel like you can use them for too much. So I'm pretty happy with that one. It doesn't feel like it's too OP. Although it does have the issue of if the bots die, you either have to get back to the bot technology or just spawn in extra bots, which is what I did. I put ammo on the copper belt. Oh yeah, I probably did accidentally sideload it for a bit. Did it make it through? I thought I cleared it all up, but I guess when I'm playing with a controller, I move a bit slow. So I might not have cleared it out. It's still... Wait, what do you mean it's still sideloading? How is it still sideloading? Mm. On the chests under the inserters. At the chests under... like it's still... Okay, not like continuously sideloading, just a small amount on it. Okay, I was looking for a belt that was turned. I wasn't too worried about like just a few random ammo, but yeah, thanks. Now I need to figure out how to get this down here. Guess it's not too bad. I just keep pressing the wrong button. Oh my gosh. Okay, controller stuff with the auto with the auto walking through is actually going to be really difficult because pretty much when you're using a controller, the best way to build is by walking speed, and walking sends me to the next floor automatically. So that's going to be fun. We can call it fun. Different is another word we could use. Gosh, A as a I don't even know what R I so if I change what A does, I have to rebind a ton of different things, which is why I haven't done that. Hold on, I might be able to change. I might be able to use the controller right now if it doesn't need drivers. BRB. beef taco, beef taco. Hello. Yeah, it looks like I will need to find some drivers. So no extra buttons for me. Okay. I bet. Yeah, I have to play with a controller today. So I probably won't be on much this weekend. Beef taco. Yo, Bep, thanks so much for the sub. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Now you have sock emotes. I think. I mean, yeah, I don't know why I said I think. There are definitely sock emotes. I want to make more, but I ran out of ideas that aren't like very niche. But yeah, this is the this is a Factorio with a controller, but also just modded Factorio with a controller, which kind of makes it even more confusing. I could not imagine playing like actual like overhaul mods that add extra buttons. This one works because it's very vanilla, but like there are some mods that add like jetpacks or other buttons you have to press to like open menus, and I could not imagine using a controller for those because there are not that many spare buttons on a controller compared to the amount that Factorio wants to use. So you take what you can get. See, if I do this, the smart belt will not be on my side, so I have to manually place it. Yay. Oh gosh. The buttons are really weird. So the reason I took a short break just now is because I was trying to figure out how to get a new controller I had working. But I haven't used it on PC yet, so apparently it needs a bit of stuff done before it's actually functional. But it has an extra back button, which means I could place things without using a face button, because by default Factorio uses the A button, which is terrible because you can't really do things while moving. But the triggers and the all the trigger buttons are used for other things as well. So like if I want to put place as a trigger button, I have to unbind a lot of other key combos, like a lot of them. So it's not necessarily a fair trade-off. But if I can use an extra back button, then we're good because then I don't have to unbind anything. Also, what is this? Oh, this was back when I had walls being produced down here. Okay, so I think I put that right. Now I can use smart belt here. And then I need to get it over where? I need some ammo over here and then some ammo over there, I guess. Do I need the splitter? I don't need the splitter. What is this? What is this? Why do I have a side swapper there? Interesting. Um, that won't work. I need to figure out a different way to do this. I could put the splitter here, I guess. That would work. Do I have a splitter? I don't think I have a splitter, so let's see. I can find one here. Yeah, I at least am carrying enough materials to use stuff. So originally I used to have burner inserters going around the edge, so I needed coal in the belt, but now that I don't have coal in the belt, all I have to do is clear coal this way, filtered to the left, so that way it's no longer on the belt, and then I can do whatever side swapper I want. Because of the way this is done, ammo has to be on the outer side, otherwise it won't work. But that is very fixable. Okay, so this should swap everything to the correct side. I do need to go manually clear the belt, though. Actually, no, I didn't need to do that. Yeah, no, that... Well, yeah, no, I didn't need to do that. Oh, well. Now to go clear the belt on the way back. So the whole reason I'm doing all of this is to make it a lot easier to get red ammo over here, because I can just have a long inserter grabbing directly from this, and then we're good, and then I have red ammo. But if I wanted to keep the side swapper here, I would have to like filter things out, and I really don't want that here because I don't know. This is a really bad spot to have a side swapper. So I'm glad to be rid of it. I don't know what this was. I think there's a lot of belts here that was just kind of like residual, because I used to locally produce ammo at the bottom, and it was just kind of fit wherever it could go, which was interesting. not very great, but it did the job. That's how you want things to work, right? It did the job. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was functional. Okay, so we can get a splitter here. Gosh, the dead zones on this game are actually really low by default. It doesn't have any like I mean, I did lower it, but like it lets you lower it to 0, which is great because not a lot of games let you do that. With the other controller that I wanted to use, I probably could have managed if I played with no dead zone because it has better joysticks, but on this one, I don't think that's really an option. I might bump it up to like just 10% or something. But that's still better than a lot of games which have a default of like 25 that you can't go below, which is just insane. Because I don't know. I mean, I don't think dead zones have to be extremely small, but like if you have to move your joystick like halfway or a third of the way before it registers an input press, it makes aiming or moving the mouse like always awful. It only works for like action RPGs and stuff. And even then it can feel awful. Dead zones make it that it's how far you have to move the controller joystick before it registers an input. So like if it's set to 50%, you have to move your joystick like 50% of to 50% of its max range before it registers a button press, which means if you try to do like a small movement, it won't do anything. You can only make large movements. It's necessary because a lot of the sensors aren't perfect, so it needs to have at least like a small dead zone to account for if the controller is sending like a tiny signal. Otherwise, you get drifting. Um, and also just kind of necessary for comfort because if it is like actually 0%, sometimes just resting your thumb on the controller will move it. So like even if you don't have drift or anything, it's still a good idea to have at least a small amount. But wait, does this work here? Kind of. Should probably move it down though. But yeah, the main thing is it makes it that the main idea of it is just makes it that you have to move your joystick farther before it actually registers a button press. For a lot of games, it doesn't make a difference. For a game like this, it's a huge difference. Yeah, for a game like this, it's a huge difference because I'd say this requires almost more accuracy than a first-person shooter, especially with like no auto aim or anything. For a lot of games, not significant. It might make it harder for you to like walk slowly if your dead zone is high, like in a 3D like platformer or something, but usually it's not going to make a significant difference. It's really only shooters and I guess any game that uses mouse movement, like this one, are going to be affected the most. But we have to leave. Unfortunately, we ran out of buffers. Hopefully, we'll survive the next planet, so that will be fun. I think. Yeah, we'll go with fun. we we're gonna be testing another planet, so I mean we have a lot of ammo and it's good ammo, so that helps a lot. We also actually have buffered resources now, so like it's kind of hard to be like completely ruined as long as we don't go too far off the platform. So I think we'll be okay. We have 3 minutes, so that is time I can use to play around with the controls, which would be good. But I can't really test anything. I feel like the shoot button is really weird. I remember that one being awkward. Let's see, X is delete. B is Q pick and clear cursor. Okay, A is build. I know that one. Y is inventory. I guess that makes sense. Does the warp move you around the map or a new instance? I don't really know the like technical details behind it. I think it's considered a new planet or like a new surface on the planet, which is kind of effectively just like a new planet. I don't really know exactly what that means. But it's not like the same. It doesn't just like teleport you to a different part of the map. But it's like a different surface or whatever. And your other thing is just abandoned. So you have to make all of your base either on this platform or like near the platform and recover it later. But honestly, that's a lot of work. So I've not been doing that one because I don't really want to hand feed a bunch of things. Because hand feeding is incredibly tedious, and even if it means I can get like 3 times the resources, I just don't want to do it. You could put grenades and turrets. They're there is a mod for a lot of things, but yeah, grenade turrets definitely sounds like one that exists. Sounds pretty cool too. It sounds kind of broken because that's like a super early source of basically like flamethrower turrets at that point. That would be honestly, that does sound pretty fun. But yeah, the warp has it has like a 3 or 4 minute cooldown or so. It's it lowers the closer you get to like the auto warp time, but there's just nothing we can do for the next half an hour if we stay here. Like we don't have resources. There's not like anything we need to redesign within our base. The fact that we ran out of buffers so fast just meant we couldn't really stay there. Maybe we should figure out how to increase our iron buffer at the cost of total iron production. That might be better. Although I think what happened is just that we had 2 planets in a row without iron. So we actually didn't even have a buffer when we started this planet. So that might have been the problem. We're also about to get a floor size upgrade, but we ran out of iron, so we are not actually going to get it. If we could have held out and actually got the floor size upgrade, it would have been awesome. But we're upgrading this floor here. It's got to get a few more tiles around the edge, which I can use for a better sorter if I want. Uh, but that's really all I can do. I can make a larger buffer. There's really not a ton I can do here. See, I guess I could have started using this iron buffer, but it doesn't matter now. It's too late. Okay, so we're on a new planet. Gosh, this is gonna be a mess. We need to get water. You're like a giant. Ah, man. 3 planets in a row that have terrible resources. This is sad. On the other hand, it means it'll be easy to defend, so it's probably not an awful thing. It means this will be a good way to get used to the controls because there will be a small amount of biters and a small amount of resources. So at least I'll get like a platform upgrade and stuff without feeling like I'm going to be overwhelmed. So that's something. We should probably add this to the hotbar now because I have to use this a lot, and navigating through the menu isn't quite as easy on a controller. So I need to get used to this quick bar because it's actually pretty decent. It's not the best because you can't use the right stick, which I think is much better for doing little circles, but it's better than having to go to the menu every time. And it is still decently done. Okay, so that is the water. If I look on the map, actually it doesn't look like the patches are terrible. They're not great. But I mean, they're really low density. Okay, actually, yeah, they're quite terrible. I didn't realize how low density they were. Also, this one is mixed mining, which makes it even worse. So we're gonna get a lot of like wasted resources. Cool. That's gonna be fun. How do I how do I navigate this? Okay, I think the right platform is iron, which yeah, this is. I don't know how to. I don't know how to use bots. Oh gosh. I don't know how to disable my bots and okay, cool. I guess we're just not gonna use bots because I don't know how to use them. Let's see, what else can I grab? Coal is good, but if I use coal, I do have to manually bring it back to the base, which is a bit annoying. Actually, I guess it's not too bad. I only have to bring the teleporter. Oh my gosh. So if you walk into the platforms, if anyone's new here, if you walk into these, it automatically like you don't have to press a button, it automatically sends you through them. So even on the controller where I have decent control of the player character, I still run into them a lot. But on a controller, when you place everything with walking speed, I found I run into them a lot more frequently. So that's been fun. Fun is a word we can use to describe it. Let's see, we need blueprints on our hotbar. Where do I have the blueprint? I need the miner blueprint. Is it not on my hotbar anywhere? I guess not. Unless it's this one, but no, that's the wrong one. Okay, so I need to figure out how to open the blueprint library. Okay, guess we're gonna try to figure out some controls. I think I do right, Blueprint book? Blueprint? Oh, figured out how to toggle on the reports. Okay. Panels? Is it this one? Ooh, there is nothing in here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I need to put this on the quick bar because it's actually pretty hard to get to this menu now. Gosh, this is so unintuitive. They go the opposite directions of how they want, up and down navigate through the pages, but they're reversed. Like down makes the number go down, but I'm thinking like how would you flip through a book, right? Like or like a notepad. Down makes the pages go up. So it's very there's a lot of stuff that's very unintuitive about the controller support. So I don't know if I'll ever really get used to it, but maybe I can get okay at it. I think that's the best I can hope for. Being playable. Well, it's either that or no Factorio for like a weekend, so figured I can settle for playable. Okay, that works. I don't know how to undo. I don't know if I can undo. I don't think there's a default undo button. So I guess I'll just accept that that one is mined. I mean, I don't really need it. And I don't really want to try to figure out how to place it either. Yeah, apparently it's I don't know if it's like the day of my affiliate anniversary or if it's just saying like, hey, it's been around a year, but apparently I got affiliate like a year ago, which is pretty cool. Didn't realize I had been streaming that long fairly consistently, which is neat. Definitely been a pretty solid year. Let's see, we got coal. Those are gonna die so soon. This planet is so bad. And we're getting so much stone that we can't really deal with. I'm thinking... Okay, I think I remember what my plan was. So the reason I wanted the harvester size upgrade is I wanted to redo... Is your message in Danish? The one that you sent was, I imagine, Danish? It was not in English. I know that much. Did it just have like one button you can press that sent it? Okay, so here was my plan, right? We just made this floor bigger. So because we made this floor bigger, we can move the buffers, and instead of having ore buffers, actually we could still have ore buffers and just smelt whatever we can do, but or smelt whatever we get. But the idea is that we'll make it that we have these items sorted like up here instead in a much larger buffer. So then I can alternate between copper and iron and all the good stuff. So that way, when we're on planets that are high in iron, I can get 2 lanes of iron rather than only copper, which is not particularly useful when you only get iron or when you only get copper. So that's the plan. Seems like a lot of work, but it really needs to get done. I need to make these flexible for how they can, what they can smelt. Bricks will definitely cause problems, which is kind of rough. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how I'm gonna deal with. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to deal with bricks because they can back up a lot of furnaces. I guess realistically, they're not going to back up a ton of furnaces, but they can definitely break things. So let's start with the. Well, I don't want to break the iron lane, so let's start with the copper lane because if we break this, it really doesn't matter because we have so much copper that we're never using. Okay, so how do I do this? I clearly don't want an ore buffer. If I'm doing it this way, ore buffers are kind of useless. Ooh, wait, no, they're not useless. They're just okay. No, I've got it. I've got it. What we'll do is we'll accept that there's no more ammo on this belt. I can't get ammo over there. I can get ammo over there, but I need to switch to medium electric pulse. Okay. Okay. I figured it out. So what we're going to do is move the ore buffer all the way to the other side of the base. And we're going to store the ore here, which seems a bit odd, but it's the only way that I can think of to like buffer ore, because we produce more ore than we can smelt, because we need to be able to keep smelting while we're on planets that don't have much, and we don't have enough space to just add more miners or add more smelting directly. So what we need to do is rely on buffers, and to do that, I need to get ammo all the way back. I need to move it from this belt to like a belt woven, some kind of belt weaving under here, or maybe just going through the inserters. I'm not entirely sure. But it's definitely doable. We're going to have to move a lot of things around by hand, though, which is kind of annoying, but definitely doable. We can only process one one type of ore this way, or one belt of ore, but I think that's okay because we're not actually producing any more than that. So let's remove the filter from this. We need more red belts, I think, if we're going to do this, which I don't know how to make. Wait, you're driving around? Oh yeah, I forgot. Someone did say there were chests with stuff in it. Uh, I guess there is reason to like explore on the planets that seem to have nothing, because they still might have those chests, or at least I think they do. But that's cool. I mean, that's not a good find, but I imagine there are good finds. Three chests maybe aren't the most useful thing, considering how plentiful wood is and all resources. But at least it's fun. The best part is that Twitch translated to Fest Hat, which isn't a valid emoji. Oh, I didn't even realize it was supposed to be an emote. That is silly. You found chests with stack inserters and blue inserters. I mean, that's still not. I guess that's still not that amazing. Maybe that's just to give you some reward for exploring, but like, not not make it that you have to explore every time. Like maybe that's the balance they struck, which is fair. I really, I'm very confused on how to do this. Like realistically, I should connect these to one splitter here. Okay. Okay, I think I see it. I definitely need more splitters, that's for sure. Yeah, because these should go to the same splitter network. And then they'll still have trouble processing significant amounts of ore, but I guess at least it will be better. Actually, no, they should be split separately. Yeah, no, never mind. If I split them, if I combine them, I limit myself to one red belt, and that kind of defeats the purpose of being able to burst out resources. Ooh, a single accumulator. That's like milliseconds worth of power. That's almost equivalent to a small amount, like a fraction of one of the platform accumulators you get for free. Woo! Progress. Why? Yeah, okay. Maybe 5% dead zone is a bit too small. I'm gonna bump it up a bit so the map doesn't keep scrolling. There we go. 8 should be good, right? Yeah, that's much better. It's so much harder to build things when you have to like think really, really hard about how to actually like place something. Because like when you don't know the buttons at all, it's hard to just like quickly throw down something to see if you like how it looks, because it's just such a huge mental effort to do that much. We need some belts. Okay, we are very low on iron. Yeah, we definitely need to. We need to make it that we can get two belts of iron if necessary. So yeah, this is a very important project. It's gonna take a while, but it definitely needs to be done. Good evening, Fluffle. Let's start with let's start with yellow belt, I guess. We can upgrade it later. Yeah, we can delete these. We are currently redoing the entire like sorting system at the bottom, which as soon as we get like a floor upgrade will no longer work. So that kind of is rough, but I think it's necessary. Because currently I cannot process enough resources within my base with the way it's set up, so I need to change the distribution center. And we're already being attacked. It's been 10 minutes. How? Oh, wait. I think I know which one they're attacking. The one that I didn't defend. Yeah, okay, that tracks. If they were attacking the other one, I would have been very concerned. But honestly, I don't care about these ones. We're just gonna get the miners back and then leave. Because like we should not be our 400 ammo that we have in every single outpost should not be overwhelmed by the 10-minute mark. So I was very, very scared there. But it's because they weren't overwhelmed by the 10-minute mark. I just didn't defend the base because that has to be built by hand. So I guess we won't be getting any coal for a while because I don't want to ever have to defend that. So we're going to hear some beeping for a bit until biters destroy the entire coal outpost, but that's okay. Because we're not acknowledging it anymore. It doesn't exist. Out of mind, out of sight. Out of sight, out of mind. I mean. Okay, so we're going to send ore through here. And then these will eventually clear themselves, but honestly, I think they just need to be deleted and moved to the new ore sorting system. Yeah. We're just going to have to delete these, which is going to take a while, but there isn't much way around. I guess we could have waited. That probably would have helped. Maybe we can move it to, like, the edge, or... Oh, I know what we can do. We can flip it for now. No, that didn't do anything. We'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. That's the easiest selection. Or easiest solution at the moment. Let's not mess with it until we actually have a place for the ore to go. Because moving it now would really have no benefit. Because we can't do anything with the ore. We'll just be stuck with a ton of ore in our inventory. So yeah, sorting system first. And then we can delete the old one. Honestly, by the time we get to it too, the longer it takes, the less it will matter because this will fill up. Or it will eventually empty itself out. Not fill up. The exact opposite of fill up. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, cool. I was worried that the even distribution mod would kind of break things there. So how do we sort this? I guess like one corner for like coal, one corner for stone, one corner for iron, and one for copper would be good. So we're gonna need a splitter. Probably, let's give ourselves some leeway away from the wall just so it's easier to work with. Stone will never need in high quantity because we don't mine it that often and we usually mine it on the surface, but we might be able to make use of it if we have a spare place to send it. So actually we don't. Okay, so if we mine stone down here, we can't actually do anything with the stone, but we need to have it buffered just in case because it will back up the entire lane if it's mixed mining. So we do need a chest for it, but it's not a chest that needs to be filled continuously at least. But we'll give ourselves the option to work with the stone. That's not where that goes. It goes one tile over. Okay, so 5 chests of stone should be plenty. Maybe, I don't know. That's not that long. Let's do a double chest. We have the space. We got the space upgrade. We should definitely use it. Let's see, we have medium electrical, so that makes this a lot easier. So we can do 6 wide buffers now. It's just not going to bother with stone because it's not too useful. Okay, that should work. That gives us a 5 wide buffer, which is honestly more than enough for something we're only ever going to be mixed mining effectively. Okay, so that filters that out. Using the buffer is also something I'll have to consider. And then I think we're just no longer going to buffer plates here. And if we do buffer plates, we're going to buffer them We're going to buffer them up here, because there is some space to buffer plates. It's just buffering ore is so much easier. And yeah, buffering ore is just so much easier, so I really wanna do it if I can. And I think maybe I'll do it like into separate corners. So this one's going to be filtered out really weird. Yeah, okay. So then we can also copy this somehow, if I can figure out what the copy button is. So we can take this and then rotate it down here maybe, and that is unfortunate. So we cannot have a double chest here, but technically we don't need one. We can make do with, well, because we have more space down here, I don't know how to force place stuff. The controls are definitely not what I would consider intuitive by any means. Okay, so I think we can do this. We could, normally I would just copy and paste this and have my bots build it, but it's a bit of a hassle to get to the copy menu. Just a little. See, what do we have? Oh, we're crafting everything. Okay, if we go up top, we might be able to clear the belt. But yeah, I realized we're so limited on iron that we haven't been able to make a buffer to store spare gears and circuits because we just don't have the production for that. Which hopefully this thing that we're doing right now will fix that. At least that's the goal. I really hope that's the case. It might not be, but that's what the intention is, at least. Okay, so we can get this here, here, and then just fill the bottom. Okay, so this will filter out all the stone. I wish they were steel chests for the buffers, but steel chests, they're not particularly expensive for how many we need. It's just we don't have them. We don't have steel buffered. So I just can't use steel. I think I'll be able to upgrade them to steel pretty shortly. Just at the moment. Can't really plan around them. Okay, so we can get another splitter, which apparently we don't keep anything on hand to produce anything we need. It's really it's really tough playing with like a compact base that has like resource limitations. Like in some sense, this does start to feel like a C block because you just are space limited and you max out your production pretty soon with the space that you have, and then you just have to figure out slightly more compact ways to build things or slightly more power efficient way to build things if you just want a little bit more space, which is a fun challenge, but definitely not one I'm super used to. Okay, so filter out the stone to the left. Is that good? Yes. Is this one good? Perfect. Ideally, these would actually share the same set of chests. I just don't know how I can do that without sacrificing throughput. Like I know how I could share the same set of chests, but I would not be able to use an entire red belt of that resource if I did it that way, which is the plan. Well, I could. If I used a splitter, could that work? I don't know if that's easier. Because I could send this stone over through the other side, but that uses up a lot of space. So if I want to combine them into one storage system, I'll save space here, but I won't be able to build anything here. So I don't know if it actually helps. But the idea is that it would make it that I can combine the inputs and then don't have to worry about which one mine's which in terms of balance. You know what? It doesn't matter. We can adjust the balance easily. I think, yeah, I think saving space at the moment is a little bit more important than trying to balance the halves, because rebalancing the halves is fairly simple. Okay, and then another thing that we're not mining a ton of is coal, which we can filter out here. Because coal we mostly mine elsewhere, mostly up top, but we do want a small little buffer here, just in case we mix mine, because we don't really have any decent way to process it. Another option is to buffer coal over here. Actually, you know what? I like that option. No, never mind. We're gonna buffer coal on the edges somehow. So to do that, we can filter all coal that goes through here, and then have like an inserter put it onto a chest, and send it. Maybe? Wait, can we send it around the edge? We can, but it's gonna be really awkward. Okay, we probably have to leave soon. Yeah. Okay, let's go start reclaiming the stuff. Or we just gotta hold out. Hold out for a few minutes and see what happens. Because enemies are starting to... Well, I think they mostly just attacked it because it was in their way. But we're at the 24-minute mark on this planet, which means enemies are roughly like 6 minutes away or so from medium biters and spitters, which we do not really have a good way to defend against. Medium biters are okay. Spitters do damage, and there's nothing I can really do to hurt them before they attack. So, yeah, we just need to nope out of here and call it good. Maybe the next planet will be better, or even better, maybe the next planet won't have any resources at all. But we have pretty much completely mined out this entire patch, or a lot of this patch. So I guess it's not too big of a deal that we're leaving it. Okay, there we go. Everything important has been recovered. We're also pretty close to getting the turret upgrade here. I don't really know what it does. I don't think it does much. People have told me it doesn't do much. But I was really curious how little it actually does. I wonder, if I stand on this platform, do I go to the next planet? I've never actually tried it. I've only ever stood near the main platform, but this is technically like, this platform does warp as well, so I imagine it's just as safe. Oh, except for the fact that there's biters, so maybe it's safe in the sense that I'll warp, but I guess not safe in the sense that I'll I'll survive. Ironically, sitting there waiting for the turret to be built, because yeah, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting to see if a turret is actually built here or if I need to feed it ammo. Because if it's an infinite ammo turret, I'm all for it. But I'm assuming it's just a larger platform. Yeah, okay. It's a platform to put ammo. Got it. I mean, that gives us space down here, though, which is nice. Wait, but that doesn't warp up. So yeah, it gives you the ability to put like another ammo belt here if you wanted to, which actually wouldn't be too bad. But like you can get more resources remotely. It's like I can make it that all coal I get has to go through this platform or something, so that way I don't have to use my main platform for it. So it's not too bad. But yeah, it just gave me a little bit of extra space up here. And it made this platform slightly wider, so that way I can place turrets on it, which I don't need to worry about. But I'm glad I tried. How do I open the research menu? Oh, I guessed right. Cool. Planet teleporter energy upgrade. Okay, that doesn't do much. That doesn't do much. Honestly, none of these do that much. Harvester floor size. This is the thing we're building right now. So if I'm building a sorting system, I should probably get the upgrade first. Okay, yeah. We'll keep brainstorming how to do the sorting system, but I think we'll end up redoing it, like shortly, pretty shortly. So instead I'll just use this time to like clear the belt repeatedly, get gears, because we're gonna need a lot of red belt, we're gonna need a lot of splitters. Okay, you prospect your surroundings and gaze at the stars, and you wonder if this world has ever had a name. I don't know what that means in this context, but it's fun little flavor text. That counts for something. Okay, really wish that I was able to get the controller working, because building with the A button is really getting to me. But man, it's gonna take so long to try to rebind the controls to be decent. Let's see, up and down. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, the quick menu is really cool though. It is fun. I just wish I could use the right stick for it. Okay, so we got water, and now we need We need iron. Well, I mean, I guess iron is the only thing we can use because copper is currently disabled, so hopefully we have enough coal because I don't really want to try to mine that. Yep, okay, that'll have to do. We at least got iron for our outpost, which is really the only thing we're super limited by because as far as I can tell, we have probably a few hours worth of copper based on how much consumption we have. So yeah, I think we'll be okay there in that regard. Although we do need to give it coal apparently, because it's not actually working right now. 600 coal is decent. It's not much, but it is something. So we do have some here we can use. We also have it buffered elsewhere if we really need. Okay, so let's throw the coal in the chest and go back to trying to figure out the sorter. Okay, so if we're going to have more space, I should definitely use the balance sorter. Because it's going to add 2 to 3, maybe even 4 tiles in every direction. And if it's adding 4 tiles in every direction, that extra tile I use to send the belts across to the other side is actually not going to be significant at all. So planning around that definitely helps with balance. Yeah, no, that will definitely help with that. Still need to figure out exactly how I'm going to do it. But let's we can snake the belt later. That's the least important thing. The main thing is trying to figure out how to place the chests themselves. So if I have enough space, how much is it actually going to add? I want to say it's going to add 4 tiles because that's what everything has added. But I don't think the harvester floor adds quite as much as that. Because the first expansion would have been here, plus like probably an extra tile or two. So I think this one only adds 2 tiles, which actually isn't. It's not enough space to do a double chest. Or it is. Okay, it is enough space to do a double chest, but it's not a space to do a double chest and do the balanced. Lanes like I wanted to do. So in that case, we should plan for a single chest going along like the entire bottom area. And then one of them will send the belts across. And for that we can use either splitters or you can loop it around the bottom. Or maybe use long inserters. Could long inserters work? Like what if we used a double layer of chests? No, that doesn't help with the balance. That just puts the chests in the one spot. We need an actual splitter if we want to use balanced in and out. Gosh, this is gonna be. Is the balance really worth? I'm really regretting my decision to try to make it that it can work like this. What if I only want the outputs to be balanced? What if I don't care about the inputs? Okay, let's just start with what I know we'll do. And that will be 6 chests here and 6 chests here with an output, which probably I guess could go either way. That doesn't really. Well, if I do this, it really doesn't solve anything now that I think about it. Uh, okay, so new plan. We're not going to do the balanced. It's too much of a hassle and it has like no benefit, it seems. Instead, what we're going to do is just make it that they're in the same place, so that way it's easier to uh, visualize, I guess. And if they're all in the same space, I really want the upgrade size before I build it. Building without the the upgrade is tricky. I guess what I can do is assume that I have like this whole corner, and that's really the only difference it will make. Which is still decent, but yeah, let's just start building it here. I want stone to be on this side. Okay, we want it to be 6 wide is what we decided. And it'll be double-sided. Is that actually functional? I think it is. Yeah, no, that works. So stone processing is definitely limited compared to the other processing. It doesn't need to be it doesn't need to be able to output 2 full lanes of resources because it's not that important of a resource. Like, even when you get to purple science, stone is still not that important of a resource. Like, you're only going to use like 1 belt of it compared to like the 10s or 20s of belts you use for iron and copper. So I'm definitely not too concerned with that. So that can go. So we can just plan for this always being 1 belt of stone, and that will be more than enough for our purposes. And then I wonder if there's a way to get 2 resources onto the same belt without breaking things. I think there is. So if we can put iron up here and then copper over here, and then we can put coal over here, might work. The way to filter out, yeah, because we're never going to have those 2 on the same belt, or it won't cause problem. If I do this, I have to filter it out a second time, but it reduces how many belts I need to send to the bottom. I don't know if that's actually worth it. I don't think it's worth it unless I desperately need the space. So we're going to plan for it not looking like that and just build around that concept for now. Because I think that will complicate it for no reason. And then this is another thing. I can't imagine we'll need more than 1 blue belt of coal coming from here, because we don't really use it for a ton. That'll probably change when we get to plastics, but I feel like we're a ways away from plastics, especially if I keep playing on a controller. So I don't think I need to stress myself out too much about planning around a future plastic design. See, these are not backed up. We're barely getting any green science. We can limit ammo production. I mean, ammo is probably about to back up, right? Like, it looks pretty darn close to being backed up. Like, what's happening here? This has 1,000 spare ammo in it. So we can limit that to 1 chest because this doesn't need to buffer anything. This doesn't need to buffer anything, and then we can move this ammo. Then we can just leave it. Yeah, okay. So ammo should back up soon, and when ammo backs up, we'll get a lot more iron going to our main base. Which is currently starving science. So I don't think I have it balanced well. I have it being split 50-50, which is not not great because it's going to things that are not important. Okay, so 1 yellow belt of resources. Perfect. Yeah, this is just copper, or this is just coal. This is fine. The only thing this needs to do is occasionally power resources or filter out. Or sorry, this is occasionally needs to feed coal into the smelting lanes, and it occasionally will supply coal to the steam engines and stuff. But the main purpose is to filter out mixed mining. So that will be sent this way. Ooh, wait, hold up. If we go the other way, does that simplify anything? I don't think so. Yeah, no way. I was thinking, what if we had these inserter spacing down, but I don't think it really matters. Okay, and now for the fun part, trying to figure out how we do copper and iron. So these are ones that actually do need to output an entire yellow belt of resources, so that's fun. And I think I do have an idea, if I use belt weaving, of how to make it that I can input it onto either side. The other option is a bunch of splitters. I don't think that matters, though. No, I don't think it matters. We just need to make sure we can output a full yellow belt, but it doesn't matter if we input more than that. Okay, no, that shouldn't be a problem. So we'll take the same setup we have here with this 6 wide. Seems like it's pretty decent. And then I think I figured out how to copy stuff. Yeah, okay, there we go. Cool, we can copy things, which is a very basic concept, but it's in a weird menu on the Switch, I think, in my opinion. And the only way to get a dedicated button is to unbind a lot of other things. So I just keep it as the quick menu. Once we have another tile to work with, this will be a lot cleaner, and I'll be able to get two halves of one belt. It's just until we get the expansion, we can't fully plan this. But if we do this, this should let us get a whole yellow belt. Oh, but that's not going to be balanced great. So this can only output a full belt. I don't like the balance on this, but I think balance is not going to be a major concern because we're going to be turning one red belt into one yellow belt. So yeah, this I think balance will be okay eventually once it backs up. I can't remember. Is this a safe planet? I don't think this is a safe planet. Yeah, this isn't a safe planet, so we'll need to leave in another 10 minutes or so. This looks decent. Uh, so copper can be here. I feel like I'll be able to do copper, and then iron is going to be like this awkward middle child that's on both corners for some reason, because that's where I'll have space, and I think that's also where I'll have the most chests for iron because we want a ton of iron. So having a larger iron buffer is definitely going to be useful. I think I can get steel unless I'm steel limited here. Okay, apparently I am not backed up on steel. There's probably some steel somewhere that I can use, but it looks like... Hmm. Yeah, it looks like I don't have enough steel to make all the chests, so we'll just keep doing iron. You found the most OP strat, but it's a bit cheaty. Yeah, someone was mentioning that. They didn't tell me what it was, but they mentioned there was like some kind of exploit you can use. But I wasn't particularly interested. So how's the base defense? The base is going well. We have the larger platform size. Oh my god, yeah, okay. This makes visualizing this a whole lot easier because now we don't have to just imagine it. It also, I was wrong. It's a 3 tile expansion. That's actually pretty big. No, 3 tiles is huge. Maybe I should use a splitter. Oh, I think I know what I can do. If I have the space for it, this will make it that I get them evenly distributed between belt halves. Like this. Okay, so that uses a bit more space, but it is a lot more balanced. So I think it's worth it, assuming I can still get get the resources to the other side. So yeah, I'm definitely going with that one. Let's move this up against the corner because it can go right here. Okay, so that's copper, which I really don't like how I have to kind of like snake this through, but there's not much I can do about that. And then I guess I can store iron in the corner, which is a bit weird, but you know what? That works. Yeah, no, that definitely works. I can store copper here and iron here. It's actually not too bad. So then it's only stone that just kind of has to cross the side. Okay, I like it. I like that. And then I'll need to filter out the outputs as well, which is going to be weird. Fortunately, we're still burning through the belt buffers. And also, since I need stuff for building, I think I'm just going to not research something for a bit. Okay, this is just the plates, though, right? So now... the it was 3 tiles. The inserters output on the right side of the belt. Is this not the right side of the belt? Oh, you're right. It's not the outside of the belt. Thank you. I thought it was the wrong way. Is your exploit just warping as soon as you get to a planet? But yeah, it was a 3 tile expansion. It looked like because I have this tile, and this tile that I didn't have access to before. Not in that order, but 3 tiles in each direction is pretty big. 2 tiles, I was actually going to be hurting for resources, or I was going to be having trouble figuring out how to build it. But with this many, yeah, this is definitely doable. Oh, just leaving the surface. I mean, that's not an exploit. That's like straight up in their description of how you should play. Like they have that, like, I'm pretty sure recommended somewhere on like the mod download page, or like hinted at. I've definitely seen that hinted at somewhere in the mod description or maybe forum. Vanilla Factorio is the same way. I just haven't done it because I really don't like driving or exploring. So I didn't feel like I didn't feel like going to the far outposts, even if it was like gonna save me ammo. Okay, so this should work. We need to connect copper up here, and then iron to the right. Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. No, I did not mean to delete that splitter though. I will have to upgrade all of these to yellow belts, which is gonna be rough. It's both of them. Having to build compactly is fun since I've never had to do that before, but I also like the warp mechanic just because it's fun having to abandon your bait, abandon stuff. Because it adds a bit of a challenge, because you do get overwhelmed by biters really fast if you don't warp in time. It's like if you aren't like well defended and you are attacked, the biters like really, really ramp up fast. So once you get overwhelmed, you stay overwhelmed for a while. But I like both the mechanics. It's a lot more interesting with mouse and keyboard because I have to think so much about how to place things right now that the placements are very, very slow, which is why it's taking so much time to design this. Because I can't just like place something, test it, and then delete it real quick. Like I have to think really hard about everything. I can actually get one more buffer chest, which is probably worth it if I can figure out how to power it, right? Yeah, I can get one more buffer chest in here. That's worth it. Technically, I can get two, like a half buffer chest here if I want to, but I want it to be symmetrical, so I'm not going to worry about it. This won't be balanced perfectly, but since this is like the end one, it won't really affect the balance. It won't really affect the balance that much anyway. But it's nice to have just in case, because I think it will be useful. We might actually move this down 1 tile, so that way I don't have to use red belt here, but I don't think that will make a significant difference. Okay, so we can probably get rid of these iron buffer chests. I think we just shouldn't buffer plates. I don't think buffering plates is that useful. Because we've always been using like our plates at a steady state, as long as we have the ore buffered. And if I don't have to worry about buffering, like even if I don't have to buffer any plates at all down here, it's just got to make this whole section so much easier. Okay, so that's going to be not connected yet because that would be bad. Oh, that's not how I want to connect it though. Actually, maybe it is how I want to connect it. No, because I want that space for iron. Rotate it, keep an eye on the timer. Okay, we actually probably need to leave this planet soon. Because I can't like move fast to like recover things. So I need to warp earlier than I feel safe doing, I guess. Because like previously, when you can go and fight biters efficiently, it's not too bad. You can defend a little bit longer than you would think you could defend, but when I'm expecting my player's ability to fight to be next to none, definitely low priority. Or definitely not I definitely can't consider player combat reliable. That's fun. Fun, fun, fun. Let's get. You know what? We have enough buffered ore. Let's just grab all of it. We're just gonna grab it. I don't want to risk it. Okay, there we go. Everything is safe. We're free to leave the planet in a short while. All we have to do is figure out this buffer system, which we're still working on because it's so slow to build. I'm getting faster at using the controller, but man, it's never gonna be fast. That's for sure. The I'll have to settle for faster effectively is the most we can hope for. I'm looking forward to this being completely empty because once the copper buffer is completely drained, we can move all the copper around. I mean, our base will stop functioning for a while, but that's okay. Copper is not super important. As long as we have iron, we can at least have some ammo. But if copper runs out, we just lose science, and we have probably a couple hours worth, so I can't imagine we'll run out today. I wonder if I should use like a switch. I think so. With the way this is set up, I don't have to manually hand feed anything, but I will have to activate and reactivate. Ooh, wait, hold up. If I do it like that. Oh, that's true. I'm not researching either, so I'm only paying for defenses and personal building stuff. So yeah, we'll be fine. So the idea I had here was to switch between which smelter I used, so that way I could burst out more iron if necessary. But the only way to do that is if I have an ore buffer and a plate buffer, which is kind of annoying. Do you know how to make barreled oil more space efficient than tanks? I mean, if you are above like 3 tanks, it's already more space efficient, right? Like, I don't think you need that, like, one buffer chest to make it more space efficient. Unless maybe the barrels don't hold as much as I think they do. Okay, also I have to take a short break once we get to the other planet. The world reminds you of home. Okay, so this is a vanilla style planet. Let's get things set up. A full chest is like 2100 oil or 2500 oil. I mean, that's like 40% more. Well, maybe it's not. It's more space efficient if you can process the oil at the outpost. If you can process the oil at the outpost, you can make that work pretty well. But yeah, I guess if you have the assembly machines inside your base, you wouldn't be able to make it more space efficient if it's that bad. But if you bring like the teleporter to the oil station and you have it outputting barrels um, to the pump jacks and then putting arrows back, that could work. Maybe with enough beacons, it could be more space efficient. Yeah, it seems like it would be a lot of hassle to make it work because you would have to have a lot of it something you tear down. I think you would have to tear down a lot of it every time, which I think immediately makes it not worth it, even if it saves space. Did I get the miner back? I did, right? Yeah, okay. Good, good, good. Yeah, the inserters aren't too much of an issue, but yeah, the unbarreling process is going to use up a lot of space. Anyway, I'm gonna pause right here. I'm gonna take a short stretch break, and I'll be back in like 5 or 10 minutes. Hello, hello. Sorry, I was not unmuted. When I play with a controller, I have less access to like OBS controls and stuff. Let's see. A fully unbeaconed barreling does 2,500 fluid per second. That seems a lot. But yeah, in terms of space, it does seem rough. I guess I don't know how much a barrel produces though, or like one assembly machine produces. So, because that obviously, like, hold on, the control. I didn't click on the Factorio screen. I don't think. BRB. I can't actually move my mouse right now. 500 per barrel. Wait, do barrels not stack? They stack up to 10? If they stack up to 10, how are you only holding 25,000 in a chest? 500 per barrel, stacking up to 10 would be. Isn't that like 400,000 in a chest or 200,000 in a chest? Vanilla barrels are 50 fluid? Oh, so 500 per stack. Yeah, 500 per stack is a lot worse than 500 per barrel. Okay, definitely see how that could not, might not work then. See, is this working? It does look like it's working. I do not know how to do this. If I'm being, if I'm being completely honest, I have absolutely no idea how to design this buffer. Oh wait, hold up. I'll buffer the plates up here where there's space. That makes it so much easier. If I, yeah, okay, I got it. I'll buffer the plates up top. And that will be enough of a buffer. Because then I don't have to worry about putting the buffer in here, which just sounds, if I'm being completely honest, absolutely miserable. Okay, but buffering just the plates, we can do that. Okay, so this will be iron? I do have a really, is this a really dumb idea or is it a good idea? Hold up, it's a good idea. I can save a lot of space if I do filter chests and split iron at the end. Yeah, okay, so assuming this works, my idea here is that iron goes all the way through and then is filtered out here. So only copper makes it across here. So copper to the right. Nope. Copper to the right. That seems good. Barrels are terrible. Yeah, that seems to be the moral of the story. Okay, so this is my idea. So I will spend a lot more on filter inserters, but I save a lot of space because then I don't have to split out the belt ahead of time. And I think it's safe from backing up. I'll put one here just in case. Actually, no, it will never reach this tile, right? It might. I'm not really sure how they work. Let's use a long inserter or something. I don't know. Because I don't know if it can back up, but just in case, right? That should be fine. And then we can whitelist this. And which one did I change? Copy you. Because I'm getting used to using the copy tool now, which is great. Okay, and the reason I wanted to do it this way is because I wanted to make sure I had a double chest for iron because we mine so much iron. And then we only need to be able to output one belt at a time though, which helps. So buffering two chests from a red belt but outputting one yellow will be perfectly acceptable. Okay, this goes here. And you said it outputted onto the right, so that would be balanced here. Okay, that should be good. We don't really... We can't really power it, can we? Okay, I guess we need to cut one of these. That's okay. We can still buffer it, but I guess there's no point. Maybe we could have done like an underground belt somewhere. I'm not sure. Oh, well, it's not a huge deal. We have plenty of space. I can't believe I said plenty of space. How times have changed, huh? Okay, so we got iron here. Perfect. So this is the part I'm not sure about. I need to be able to send all of these to different smelting lanes, which is confusing. Yeah. So I mean I have the ore buffer. I'm not using the ore though, so how do I do this? Clearly I did not think this far ahead. I almost thought this far ahead, but I didn't quite make it. You want some cola, but then you'd have to walk all the way to the kitchen. That is fair. I get that. I definitely get that. I am a lazy lazy person. If it requires walking, I usually just don't do it. I usually just give up. Okay, how do I flip this? Oh, hold on. One of my friends is asking me about Minecraft. Okay. He was wanting to set up a Feed the Beast server, but didn't know where to get the installers for them without like manually creating a server and putting your own mods in. But they have them all nicely packaged. Inserters and electric miners output on the right compared to the belt, and burner miners output on the right compared to themselves. Yeah, I don't like that part of burner miners. I mean, I like that part of burner miners because it's what made the on-patch mining so efficient. But I don't like how it's different. Iron sticks are required by the big electric poles and rails. Big electric poles, medium electric poles, and then like rails. And I think some of the other parts of rail components, like I think they're needed for the stations as well. But the main thing is sticks, or the main thing is science and medium electric poles. The speaker, weird. I didn't know. I guess it makes sense. I've never built a speaker. I don't think. Okay, does this look functional? This looks functional. It just, I think I made it too large. I can't actually. Okay, it needs to be moved up one tile, which means I don't need this in the middle. So ironically, by making this one chest smaller, I'm making it like three tiles shorter, which is crazy to me. Copy? No, I want cut this time. But yeah, because I'm making it two tiles shorter, I don't actually need that medium one in the middle, which makes it a lot easier to build. Okay, and then this one's mirrored, so this one outputs up here to be balanced. Okay. Wait, maybe I should just have the iron go. No, no, it doesn't matter. No, we're good. I need to commit to something. I can't keep redesigning a terrible buffer. Refined concrete. Okay, apparently it's used for a lot of things. It's a lot of things that aren't necessary for a lot of the game, though. So, like, you tend to forget it, right? Like, they are things that you need, but you only need them, like, either late in the game or if you're doing, like, blueprint stuff. But, like, with the way I play it, obviously, I never really get that far in the game. So I never end up needing them. Okay, yeah, we just freed up two tiles to deal with the smelting sorter, so that that makes it a lot A lot nicer. Okay, so we can always use a splitter if we want. So I think what we're going to do is give the option to send to the other lane, but we'll mostly send to the right. So this will mostly, yeah, this will mostly feed this smelting lane. And the reason we have the splitter here is because we're, just in case we need to send it to the left to utilize the other lane. So I think we should split it up here. Do we have the space here? No, we don't. Okay. Well, that changes things. I guess we'll just split it at, I think I'll just split it at the source. That seems easier. Yeah, we'll have to like manually connect things, I guess. I haven't lived in Factorio yet. I guess not. I've never really gone too much into like the mega basing or the complicated builds. I just much preferred speedrunning or challenge runs. I really like the bot phase. I just don't like the I don't like the outposting phase once you start to actually kind of benefit from trains. I tend to lose interest in like when playing casually. Okay, so basically what I need to do right now is connect 3 of these to the same tile and send that to the smelting output. And then I'll just decide which one is functional at any given point, which is a bit weird. But if I do it like this, the advantage is that it will be a lot easier. The advantages of doing it this way is it'll just be a lot easier to redistribute stuff if I have the belt built. You know, like do the spaghetti ahead of time, so you don't have to delete stuff later when you realize you've made a mistake. And then coal we actually have here, so coal's going to be pretty easy. We can just send it up from the bottom. And honestly, I think most of the coal smelting should come from these new ones, because I don't think it would be worth it to send all this coal to the boiler room. I kind of want to have stuff dedicated to smelting, because the whole point is so that way this can run independently. Except no, I do need to send it to the smelting room. Okay, that's fine. There's no reason for me to be lazy there. There is a phase at the end where you have to optimize for UPS, which is cool. Optimizing for UPS is kind of cool. It was fun having to do a small amount of that during the burner 100% run, because I wasn't thinking I would ever have to do that, like, ever, in my life, because I never thought I would do something in Factorio that needed that. Boy, was I wrong. Wait, I have a better idea. Okay, I know how to... I should have the splitter be here. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. And then this will be stone, I guess, if I ever smelt stone here. But honestly, I'm not planning to smelt stone here, because I can't, like, move the resource if I do smelt stone. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good idea to skip it in the planning phase. Because, like, what can I do with stone? I can't really send stone anywhere. There's not enough room to go here unless I share it with a belt. Share a belt with copper. And we've tried that before. Sharing a belt was terrible. I think we're going to have to do it. We might have to redesign our ammo system at some point, but I really have no idea how we're going to do that. But yeah, it's definitely got to be a necessity at some point, because we really don't have the space to send ammo everywhere anymore. But yeah, we have coal here, and then we'll split it off. And I think what we want to, because we really don't want this to be stored for power, we want some to always stay up here. So maybe instead of a splitter, we'll have a second buffer system that goes here. After all this work making a buffer, we're now putting a second buffer. What is happening there with red ammo and coal? So the coal is what goes to feed the smelting lane, because I needed the coal to come from the other side. So the coal and the ammo go all the way over here. The ammo gets split and it gets sent to the outposts whenever the outposts are, based or in base. The ammo, the turrets get refilled with red ammo, ideally, but apparently I messed it up. There we go. Backed up a little. But when they're at the home base, they get filled with ammo, restocked, all that good stuff, and then the coal gets split out and sent to the smelting lane. We're completely redesigning it, so we won't have that much of a mess later, which is great. At the moment, though, we still very much have a mess here. But we're trying to make it that we can repurpose the smelting lanes to be either or. Not either or as in the the grammar thing. Either or as in either copper or iron ore. But I want to be able to use both smelters for iron if we're on a planet that only has iron or something. I don't think it's worth the effort, but yeah, no, I'm really starting to think it's not worth the effort because I feel like by the time we finally get this done, we're going to get some upgrade that just lets us put smelting in here. But at the moment, it'll work. Because I had the idea and I wanted to actually like fully realize it before I just gave up on it. Okay, so the plates, this will be completely moved. Let's start. Okay, the copper lane has finally burned through all its buffers. That's perfect. So now that the copper lane is done, we can completely destroy this entire section. We won't run out of, as long as we don't research things, we won't run out of copper for a long time. Oh, this is a good example. This is what the iron outpost looks like whenever it's not in use. So that's all there is to it. Gets this just gets these chests right here fill with ammo. It's actually pretty effective. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. If I built my outpost farther away, I probably wouldn't have to worry too much about it. But I'm lazy and I don't want to walk to place my outposts really far away, so I've just been placing them as close to the base as possible, which means they take the brunt of a lot of the biter attacks. And originally, what I did was I hand-fed it ammo, but I got really bored of giving it more ammo. Like I was tired of replenishing it ever, so I wanted to just make it completely automatic, even if it wastes a lot of space, because I just really did not want to have to think about it. I'm definitely glad I made that decision, especially now that I'm playing on a controller right now, because refilling everything by hand on a controller would not have been effective, or it would have taken ages. But now it's better. Now we don't have to worry about that stuff, because it's fully automated and fairly reliable, unless we accidentally place ammo on the wrong belts. So we'll fix that. I'll redesign it a little bit to make it that ammo can be on either belt by moving it here. But that'll be fixed whenever we set up the copper lane. That's a really easy fix, but there is a way to make it that it doesn't matter what side the ammo is on, and all it requires is 4 extra inserters per side, which is nothing. So there is absolutely no reason for me to not do that ahead of time. You can even use just the inserter, and I could recoup the cost of the inserter by not having to use a splitter. So yeah, I definitely should have done that earlier. Live and you learn. Okay, so this is just going to be a pretty typical smelting lane. I have a mod that started me with 20 bots. I don't have bot technology yet, but just for convenience's sake, I wanted to be able to use bots for like hand building and stuff. But it's not a ton of them, so it doesn't feel super OP. It just makes it a little bit easier to do things since I have trouble building these days. But we are not super far in technology. We don't even have blue science yet. Because I keep redesigning my base because I've never built compact before. So I have no guesses on how to do anything. So we're in a constant state of redesigning, which is fun. I guess we should just, let's see. We're going to have ore come from the bottom. It's not a cheat, it's a mod. We're already playing with a mod, so why not just add more mods, right? Same thing. That'll work, I think. Actually, no, that won't work. Because I don't know how they're distributed. Okay, so we at least have to do it like this, which is pretty simple. That did not solve the problem. Actually, it did solve the problem. Oh wait, the other problem. Yeah, we just need the splitter here. That's all we had to do, right? Yeah. Nope, that fixes it. Yeah, the floors seem like they get pretty big. So like making a small blue science build and getting some more floor upgrades probably would be a more effective use of time, but it's fun rebuilding, so I don't mind. I don't mind rebuilding things constantly. Let's research lights. They're completely useless because the floors are fully lit, but let's research lights because they're fun. Okay, so this sends stone this way, which won't actually go there, but it will send stone that way. Do we need to leave any space over here? I don't know. I don't think we do. So if we don't have to, I don't think we should. See, is same side in and output a good idea? Or same side in and out, is that worth it when it comes to space efficiency? It might be. I mean, it's not going to save space, technically, because I can't do anything with the extra tile. But it will make it that I save undergrounds and complexity. So yeah, it is actually worth it. So we're going to use medium electric poles for this lane, because what we're going to do is long inserters in like this, and then yellow inserter output like so, and we'll have a medium electric pole on the other side. So that should be decent. And then I think this will test like pretty decent too. I think this works, right? Let's see, this gives me... The issue with this is I have to use red belts, but I think that's okay. Because I don't have to use, like... Yeah, it will use red belt, but the reason I want to do it like this is because I want an ammo belt going up the top, so I want to save that one tile. The other alternative is to have the ammo belt going through the inserters. There's not a huge difference either way. Can use undergrounds and put poles in between. Would I be able to get more smelters if I had it going this way? Is that dumb to consider? I feel like it is. But like what if it's not? What if this is actually a good way to build it? Like how dense can I really make it if it looks like this? Cuz this might be better. I don't think this is what you meant. But like what if it works? What's the density here? Well, I don't have power. So it doesn't quite work. Well, no, I can power it on the other side. Maybe there's a way to share an output so that way power poles can go through. This will be terribly balanced, but this might work. This would go here. That's on the correct side. This might work. If it does work, it shouldn't, but this might work. I don't know if the density is any better. So this is my thinking, right? and then we get a power pole, and we place it here. That's so close to working. We'll have to power it from the side for this to work. But this does work. This definitely works. It shouldn't, but I think it does. What's the density of this? Since the other way can get me 26 smelters, this can get me a lot more, right? Because it's 3 layers of smelting. It's really weirdly balanced, but I think it does the job. Okay, so this tessellates every 4 tiles, right? No, 6 tiles. I guess, you know what, the fastest way to do it is to just disable bots and then count, because I'm really bad at getting density. Like, I know how to calculate density, but I'm really bad about figuring out where things tessellate. Okay. 3, 1, 2, 3. I am playing with a controller right now, yeah. That's why it's so slow to do things at the moment. Okay, so that fits 7 vertically. Oh wait, this doesn't work. Never mind, this doesn't work at all. I mean, technically it works, but I forgot I need to leave the space for the ammo belt. That's okay. That's okay. Undo, undo, undo. Yeah, I forgot about the ammo belt. Unfortunate, because that would have been really fun. I'm glad I turned off the bots for this. Oh, we need to leave. We need to leave. That's okay. That's okay. We have enough time. I just saw we've been on this planet for about 24 minutes, 25 minutes, which means they're very quickly going to get to medium biters, and then after that it will be spitters. Or spitters and medium biters come at roughly the same time. Medium biters aren't a problem because we have piercing rounds. Spitters, on the other hand, will damage our outposts and our main base, and there isn't really anything we can do about it. Because we don't really have, like, we don't have bots, right? Like, we have our hand bots, but we don't have a roboport up top that can actually repair things consistently. So we just need to get out of here while we have a chance. Yeah, see, we're already starting to take some damage. Actually, that was at the pipes, so I guess that wasn't a good example. But I feel like they are going to start hitting me, though. But yeah, that's the outpost. That's what all the ammo was going to. It buffers 800 ammo, so that's really nice. It used to only buffer 200, and it was terribly distributed. Now it buffers 400, evenly distributed, so it can hold out for a really long time against spiders. Oh wait, I just realized someone made a comment about how you can just someone made a comment about how you can use the outposts. Like, if you put the outpost elsewhere, it reduces your ammo consumption. I just realized that it doesn't reduce the ammo production. So a lot of it is going into science. Most of it isn't for defense. A lot of it is for sciences. And I couldn't remember the ratio, so I just built a ton. But I'm pretty sure it's just heavily overdone, yeah. Part of it is I wanted to be able to buffer out I wanted to be able to burst out a lot of ammo really fast. And then also keep my military science up once that runs. But the main thing was trying to make up for, like, I had to be able to burst out like 2,000 or 3,000 ammo pretty fast. So I just placed a lot of extra assembly machines. But now they just idle like all the time because I don't have use for that much ammo. Okay, let's go back to making a normal smelting lane, not the fun one that we tried to make, which is unfortunate, but yeah, you know, not everything works out. With this, you could stockpile millions of military science and forget about it. So military science is used for like actual base expansions in this one. How many red assemblers does half a yellow belt of copper support? Definitely not as many as I have. Definitely not as many as I have. But yeah, military science in this one, in this mod, is used for more than just like military stuff. It's used for larger outposts, so it's effectively the same as just like any other science, because it's used for important base upgrades, which I need for my factory. Otherwise, I never would have made military science in the first place. Okay, we just left the planet. I didn't see the text log, so hopefully it has everything we need here. Okay, this should work. Yeah, it looks like just a basic desert world. Yeah, I don't think there's anything special about the planet. I mean, when I play a game casually, I've never been a fan of like speedrunning games when I play them casually. Like I have a different mindset when speedrunning versus whenever I just play through a game. 100%. Like I know a lot of people do tend to like play similarly. Like, I have drastically different play styles and moods whenever I whenever I play with the two ones. Like my brain separates them really well. But I know a lot of people like they'll get a new game or something, try something new, and they'll just go as fast as possible. But I like stopping and smelling the roses and making absolute messes all the time. It's fun, even if it's a mess. Is this not working? No, it is working. I just can't see it because my screen is a bit tiny. Okay, so this is 25. So all this work, it didn't get us extra smelters, but it wasn't supposed to. It was mostly just supposed to get us extra space. We could put a couple extra smelters, but then we have to figure out like side balancing, and honestly, I'm content with one yellow belt. I just need to make sure this is 25 or 24, but I can't really read the number. I think it says 24. Let's see. We don't need these anymore, do we? No, that was for the other design. Okay, so all of this work was for this. It did say 24. Okay, thank you. My TV is a bit old. Games these days are not made for like a 40-inch monitor, 40-inch TV that you sit far away from, I've noticed. I could increase the UI size, but I don't know the button for that on a controller. Otherwise, I would. But yeah, I've noticed anytime I try to play a game with a controller these days, I notice that UIs are actually really small compared to how they used to be. Because they just assume you have like a 60-inch screen that you're like a few feet away from. It's called a Warp Factory Beacon. Okay, is it like a purple science upgrade? I feel like that would be a purple science upgrade. Unless you can get it early. If you can get it early, I might try to rush it. Did I lose my... Wait. Oh god, what? Oh, they're attacking power. That's okay. It's green and red? What? Um... It's green and red, but it requires plastic, so oil. Wait. What? How does that work? Oh, like it doesn't do anything by itself. You need to be able to make the modules. I figured it was just free modules. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so that's going to send stone this way. We could actually send stone and... it's not worth it. We'll just send stone. Is my inventory full or something? Why are they... Why are they not doing anything? I don't know why my bots got cut up. Wait, do I only have like 2 bots left? Maybe that's why. Maybe they just got like deadlocked on something. But it seems okay now. Okay. We have stone, kind of. Why did I decide to buffer stone on this side? I don't really know, but that's okay. uh, they're still just attacking the power. So I guess that's fine. So this is stone. Coal. I just want to get something functional right now, so it's gonna be a bit of a mess, but sure. See, how do we get coal over here? Okay, so this is actually coal and iron, so we can filter it out here. Perfect. And we'll send coal to the right, and I really hope I have all of the resources now, because if there's one more thing that I'm missing, we're doomed. I can't imagine we'll be using this outpost for uranium ever. Isn't that just normal any percent? Considering how much chat like carries the runs some days. See, is this working? Why aren't they connected to power? Oh, because it was just straight up not connecting to power. Well, that would do it. This is a bit of a mess. I think we'll change where this filtering goes. Well, you know what? We're not going to connect. I think the easiest thing is just not connect this one at the moment. Okay, so this gives us all the coal we'll need, I guess. That one has priority, assuming it goes on the correct side. Perfect. And then copper buffer is pretty much empty, which is awesome. Normally that's not a good thing, but the copper buffer is our limiting factor for like being able to build things. So now that we finally burnt through the copper, we'll finally be able to test our outpost and see if it works. Or yeah, we'll be able to test the buffer and the redesign to see if it's actually functional. So yeah, this is the only time I've been rooting for running out of a buffer, because I don't want to test it with the iron. I wanted to test it exclusively with 1/2 at a time before I set it all up. Now that the buffer is out, we can actually test that. Okay, but I don't think bots are working. Oh, okay. It's not registering the button presses very well. That's why. Also, I don't have anything, so that's not helping. Okay, so this will be ammo. This is the ores. This is the output plates. You know what? I can just buffer the plates here and then sort them elsewhere. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to sort the plates. Okay. I think that's enough controller playing for me today. I'll try again tomorrow. Getting used to having to build things with the controller is definitely overwhelming at times, so I think I need to take a break. Try again tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow I might actually be able to use the mouse and keyboard for doing this. That would be even better. But definitely need to call it there. I would describe the controller sport, like I've said it before, I would describe it as playable. If it's your only option, it's either that or not playing Factorio. So it's definitely nice to have, but considering how much the game was designed around a mouse and keyboard, definitely feels better with a mouse. I think if I get used to the controller, it could be decent. It'll never feel as good, of course, but I think I could get it to be like pretty comfortable, especially when I get used to the quick panel, and getting quick to shortcuts will help a lot. Also redesigning, I'll have to figure out why my other controller wasn't working. Once I get that set up and I can rebind a lot of the controls, it will be a lot easier as well. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with mouse and keyboard. If not, I'll be playing with controller again. It'll be hectic. What rank could you get on the any percent leaderboard with a controller? Well, I have done one run with a controller, so let's see. Let's see what rank it would have been. I think it was not quite last, but it was pretty high up there. Like top, it was like 108. It took me about 3 hours and 45 minutes. I don't know the exact number. Let's see. Switch any percent Factorio. Do. On to Oh, it was less than 3.5 hours. Or no, it wasn't. It was 3 hours 32 minutes. 3 hours 32 minutes and 21 seconds, which is it is top 100. It is 100th. It is 100th place exactly. That's awesome. So apparently on the with any percent with a controller, I can get 100th place. I do actually. Once I get used to the controller, I kind of want to try to make a controller compatible base because I think there are some things you could do to make it pretty cool, like find a new seed and design that. Because obviously a small base is definitely better, and a lot of things should be built differently and not rely on crafting queue because you can't move while crafting with the Switch controller or just a controller in general. And because you can't move while crafting, handcrafting is just direct time loss, like on placements, because you're not able to move around. So like you can't do it in a way where you're not losing time while crafting, which means even a small mall running earlier is probably going to be worth it, even if it means you have to craft extra intermediates to do it. So like getting honestly just handcrafting more intermediates and instead doing a small like belt and inserter automation really early, I think would help a ton. And obviously design everything to be built with a very inaccurate controller would help as well. Yeah, I think it would be fun. But after today, maybe I think it's less fun. We'll see. We'll see how I feel tomorrow after resting off the controller playing. But thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.